Bam. We are live for, I don't know, just a little Monday morning chill stream. I got out of the habit of like just streaming randomly, so I kind of wanted to get back in the swing of things and just kind of stream while I worked on something, hang out. Mechanical Frog, thanks for making it. It's got to be early by you. Like Monday morning at like 10 a.m. is probably the worst time ever to live stream. Everyone's all going to work and starting their day. Oh, perfect. Stop by the live stream. I wanted to work on this lizard. I don't know. I was trying to figure out if it's a blowgun on its back. It like appears it. Maybe those are like long feathered darts in the quiver on the back. It was a really like the colors on this, and then just the composition and photo angle. I love that the mouth pops and everything. So I was like, I want to try to get the environment. I don't know if they're kind of swamp based yet. I'll have to dig into this a little bit and figure it out. But I want to do like a little, just a nature scene with the lizardman. It's too early for bananas. No, it's not, Mechanical Frog. It's usually how I start my day, is like a banana and some coffee. Alright, there's my pen. Was it fully ready to start yet? Here, 1 second. There we go. I'll drop a background color in here. Don't know if this is like day or evening or what's going on. I try to grab like a color that's in the base. So I just grabbed that ground color and wanted to toss something in, because that way it generally blends with the rest of the picture. It says my bit rate's a bit low. Let's see if that continues. I'll have to watch some more Bob Ross to catch up. What is like happy little trees. We're gonna put some grass in here, people. It's like a Monday morning chill live stream. So when you get to work and don't want to work, you can pop it on. Definitely need some trees. I need to get some more brushes. I mean, would they be? I don't know what climate these live in. I guess I'm sure it's fantasy. You can go with whatever you want. I hope my stomach growling doesn't sound on the camera or sound on the audio. That's hilarious. You can't be a live streamer with your stomach growling on audio. Trying to get a little depth stacked. You know, I want the grass, then perhaps some sort of foliage. I'm looking through, yeah, something in here. Something a little jungly, but not too much. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Smaller. I saw the Necromunda models being released, and that they have their market or whatever. That was some cool scenery. I'll end up getting that. Hmm. So that I was thinking of like a lighter background, you know, kind of like sunrise coming through the jungle foliage. But now with his face being bright, I kind of want a darker background. I have to think about that. This is where I should have been looking up reference earlier for some ideas of what I wanted to do in this jungle or field. I didn't know first if it was going to be like more like a field or a jungle. I need background music for this. I'll have to find some streaming site where you, or audio so you don't get shut down. I want some flowers in here. Just a couple with his colors on them to try to bring out that orange, in another place. Someone linked to me to an awesome picture of the SDF-1 taken out of fog, or the atmosphere. And I might mess with that one later. There's a few good ones. There was a couple more Mantic minis that were submitted to me, and I might do another one later. It was two Forge Fathers that I was really the background was complex, but I'll have to put together a little thing. I should have gave people more information of what makes a good pick. I don't know why I don't like put that out there more, because it just makes for a better paint over when you do a little bit of that up angle. Basically like this one, you're like looking up at this, the head of this. Overlay. Let's get a little light in here. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, I like this. Let me go over it again. I always end up putting like that, a whole tinted layer over it, and then I try to bring back out the highlights. I just find it, there it's kind of cool too. I want to kind of get like a little bit of the light effect going good. You know, so it's kind of like streaming through the jungle. You'll get a little shadow on him. It highlights the crest on his head. That background, I need something a little bit behind him. It's like I have the ground going good, but it needs like a middle ground, and I haven't quite captured that yet. Hey, Toby. Hey, no worries about being late. I'm glad anyone's here. It's a Monday, so I just I was like, oh, why not stream and work on it. I'll show you what I did so far. Video time lapse replay. Don't really know what I'm doing, so figured go for it. And that's where we got to so far. It's, I forget the name. Is it a Seraphon Lizard Man? No, this one is from Mantic Games, and I cannot remember offhand what they call the Lizard Man. I worked on their, like, I did Dead Zone stuff, so I'm familiar with all those. I didn't get the names down of a lot of the fantasy stuff. I don't know if this is, you know, an older model or newer model or what. I just really liked it. Let me see who did it. I should have listed. I had it listed in the tweet. They sent in a couple that were really cool. Unplugged Radio submitted it. And they also submitted some other ones to that tweet. One was, I don't know if it was like a caster, a spell caster on a like riding a snake, and they had a really good photo composition of it, you know, because you're looking up, and I was like, oh gosh, I might want to. And it was between those two. There was just something about the orange color of this one with that head that was like the perfect kind of silhouette I wanted to try to capture something with. So I decided to use this one. I was like, okay, it's probably. I wanted to try to pull that off, and here we are. What are you up to this morning, Toby? Oh, Crimson, thanks for making it. I know, a surprise live stream, King. I hadn't been doing it, so as soon as I like stop doing random ones, you kind of I withdraw from it. You know, it's like, okay, I won't stream. It's easier not to stream when I'm in a string of not streaming, if that makes sense. So getting with it. I wasn't informed. See, that is a bummer. I don't get why. It's like the alerts are very. I'm subscribed to some, and it's like they don't come through, or if someone goes live or something like that. I don't know if it's like that thing where you gotta hit the bell icon, like you subscribe, and then the bell. What the bell is what gives you the alerts. I don't know how that works, but appreciate you making it. Who's work? Is anyone working on stuff? Toby, are you working on any hobbying, or are you working? I'll get them hours later. Yeah. Well, thank you for making it this morning. It was so nice out today. It's been a few nice days, like in the mornings. King Crimson working on not being tired, huh? I don't do well when I'm tired. Like if I get tired, and I think in particular, it's for something like this where I'm sitting around drawing. If I'm tired and I got to go do something physical, I think like you just having your blood pump and heart rate up keeps you up. But if I'm tired and I'm just like kind of sitting, supposed to draw something, oh gosh, that makes it so hard for me. I mean, get good. I get good sleep. You know, help you exercise and eating right helps me. So I try to do that just a little bit, and then I sleep pretty good most days. Knock on wood. Oh, Toby is working on. It's a great color, orange and blue. Yes, that was the other thing, was that good contrast like that. I was like, and I knew that I could get that orange to pop. You know, it's because it's already working. And you are building some Stormcast Eternals at the moment. Oh, that reminds me, I did buy a mini box of 2 or 3 Stormcast. That's funny. I forgot all about that. I was up at a Games Workshop, and they had like I didn't have any Stormcast, and they had like an easy assemble box that has just a couple of them, and it was cheap. And I was like, why not? I can buy those and just like do some kind of test paint or whatever I want on them. Let's try to get a little highlights onto the flowers. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but we're going to try. It does make a little bit of a difference. Crimson, did you get your iced coffee? Do you do iced coffee even in the winter, or do you do hot coffee in the winter, Crimson? Yeah, and Toby, what's funny is I those I really like them. They did to me. It's not like the version of a Space Marine, but they're trying to capture that same imposing, cool armor and all that. And I dug them. They had some really good ones. The fantasy range, especially when I started seeing more 40K stuff again around when they relaunched the Age of Sigmar Orcs. I absolutely love those. And I was like, as soon as I saw one of those, I'd always like checked in, with Games Workshop and see what they're working on. And then as soon as I saw those, I was like, all right, I kept checking back more and more. I don't know if I'm making that pop too much, but I like it. Iced coffee, oh yeah, all year. Iced coffee all year. I still, even now it cools up. What's funny is I always get a hot one, but I take it black, and then usually it takes me a couple hours to like drink a whole coffee. So by the time I'm doing, it's like lukewarm, but it's black, so I still like it. When it's hot, I will do iced, but pretty much here out, I'll get hot, and I can't. Oh man, sometimes I'll get one of those. I don't even know what they'll have, like an iced caramel mocha something, whatever. And I'll get like a huge one, but if you put that cream and sugar mix in it, I will down that whole thing in like two swigs. It'll be like this huge 30-ounce cup, and you give me that sweet sugary coffee water. It's like gulp gulp and all gone. So I drink it black because then that little bit of bitterness and it's not sweet, so it doesn't just make me want to guzzle it. Those I'll get those. They have these. They're so expensive. The Starbucks frappuccinos that they sell at a grocery store, and I'll open one, and usually like the first gulp, like over 3/4 of the thing is gone, and I'm like, oh gosh. Then you take a sip, and it was like you just spent $3 and gulped it twice, and you're done. Nope, it will be middle of winter, tends to snow on the ground, and I'll still get a large iced coffee. Crimson, we have to get you on stream one day. You've never even been on. We gotta chit chat on stream. Here, take a little of that out. Lighting. I do not see. That should just be another color. The middle ground. I'm being nitpicky, but I have to. I want to get better at this section right in here. Like it should just be like a darker green and almost like a silhouette, and have something in here in the background, kind of like this. This doesn't bother me. I like this area. So I want to try to mimic it, and I want to get depth in there. And I always, so I got to do something just in this little section that would help. And I get obsessed with the small, like if something's bothering me and I'm trying to like achieve something, then it, like I think this looks cool, and I could do a lot with it. It's just I want to get something in that back middle ground. Who was the guy who was on stream last week? I don't know. I found him on Twitter. Happy little brushes. Toby, on Wednesdays, I have my guest host is Lee for the Forge of Mars, and he was on some shadowed shrubs. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out a way, with the shrubs and stuff to get more a good technique for like shadow and light. If you put them in and you just use it, they're very flat, so you got to kind of round them out a little bit. Give me 1 second. I can't text. Second. Dun, dun, dun. In the sky, something I want to do just a little light in the sky, but I don't want to take away from the brightness of his face. You know what I mean? If it's too bright in the sky, then you kind of lose his face in it. But I think I got a ways to go. Let me try above this layer so I can always take it out. Interesting, not bad. Yeah, if I get a little bit of shadowed brushes and then, or shadowed brushes, I can't speak right now. Shadowed shrubs, brushes, bushes. Okay, that's what it was. Shadowed shrubs in there, and then a little bit more. I'm liking these. Whoops, don't want to do that. I like this area, like right in here. How these it's kind of like the haze is over the branches and it's kind of like streaming through. So I'm really digging that part, and I want to do a little bit more of that lightly in this background just to break up that super smooth sky. Huh. I am digging it. I'm always scared. That's how no matter what artwork, I'm always like skeptical at first. I'm working on, you're always like seeing the ways it could go wrong, and not the ways you think it's going right. 3 concurrent viewers on a Monday. Thanks for making it. That's another reason I always like to. I got to expand upon that shadow. When they when you can take a photo and you leave some shadow on the photograph itself, it really helps build depth. And I think I should stress that a little more for free paint over day. Yeeticus. I love lizards. Actually, so do I. Those were always, wow, back in the D&D days, or even some super early video games. I played this one real early one. What was it called? Like The Wrath of Nicodemus was one of first like RPGs, and anytime I could get a lizard man, I usually wanted to be a lizard man. I don't know why. Like I'm trying to think, did I? Oh, maybe it was like Land of the Lost and stuff. I always see the slee stacks, and I liked. I was trying to remember what was my early affinity with like lizard men, or why did I like them so much, and it was probably something to do with like around Land of the Lost and that. And I always just thought like if it was like the lizard men would have a totally kind of different culture than some other mammal creature. So I guess at the time when I was young, it was something a little different. Griffo, it's actually going good on this morning. Thanks. Glad you are liking it. I'll do a quick little time lapse replay of this one. Get some shrubs in there. I hope it's going good for you. See, okay, yeah, that's it for me, Toby. Toby says, I love lizard people, specifically something about a bipedal dinosaur wearing an adventure cloak and wielding a bladed weapon just screams quintessential fantasy to me. Forget knights and dragons. Yeah, I think there was, and of course I love knights and dragons and all that, but I think when I was younger too, my mind would go off to those, just like weird, you're always thinking of like what kind of animals and nature would be there and all that. So it was just that the more like obscure world building stuff. It's, this has been a big experience for me. Just like the last year and a half, when I do the paint overs and talk to people, it's not like I talk to a broad range of people about things I liked as like a kid or even still like lizardmen and stuff. So I'm finding out like how many people were like that. They grew up, kind of exposed to this stuff, and then like the hobby. Maybe some of them are older now and they have a little more disposable income to buy miniatures with, and so they're coming back to the hobby and stuff. That's kind of cool. There, Griffo says there's an anime that has an arc about lizard people. It was very weird. Pretty sure it's called Overlord. Oh, that's one too, Edicus. The Saurus and Age of Sigmar. Who does that? Oh man, I'm gonna. There's so many people's names, and what bums me out now, you have like Twitter and all that, and then everyone's like Twitter handle, and then their Instagram, and it's kind of sometimes different from their other social media. So I get everybody. Oh man, it's someone I follow a lot. Hugh, I can't remember the Twitter, but anywho, they have a real big army like that. They did a ton of plants and everything, and it was awesome. Griffo just checked and said the anime is called Overlord. Huh, that's interesting. I'll check it out. That'd be pretty funny. All right, let's go for a little middle ground action here. My layers are already, of course, out of control. Oops. Add that. A little darker. Yeah, definitely need more grasses and stuff. I gotta buy some. Wait, why is that over? It's not. No, no grass. We're gonna go with shrubs. We decided. Some happy little shrubs. That's a tree maker. What about this stuff? Oh, not bad. I could work with this, I think. Hmm. A little blending. That's how we'll do it. Griffo also says in that anime Overlord starts to establish his own army by annexing creatures. One of the races is actually lizard men. All right. Don't think I've ever seen the lizard folk represented as intelligent. Yeah, yeah. There's been you're right. They usually don't. Oh, I think I've seen one of those solar engines. Is that the thing with the crystals and everything on it, like on the back of the? I think I've seen that. Because that's funny. You are always a lizard man. Yeah, I've done my share of lizard men in D&D. What was I? What I like? I would like lizard men. I liked ranger characters, so they could be anything. And then I think after that it would kind of be like dwarves. If we're talking kind of D&D ish, like what I would kind of be in there. I think those were ones I really leaned into. I'm trying to think if there's mostly those. Okay, Toby. Yeah, so it is the giant crystal. Yeah, the thing is huge. Got to be an expensive model. This one's probably Mo Beta. This one is Mo Beta. Mo Beta bushes. Oh, yeah, half orcs. I could see that one. That was always one to be tempted by. You go wizard. Eutychus goes wizards all the way. I could, yeah. You know what? I never played that many wizards. I did a couple back in the day, but it'd be more ranger, almost cleric, or like some sort of combo thing. Like I always liked the idea of a little bit of casting with some fighting. You know what I mean? When that started coming out in D&D, I would try to do like a dual class. Thief did some thieves. I liked shifty thieves. Griffo usually play paladin. Okay, that's cool. He plays the bigger. I could dig it. I like yeah. I mean, what now? I always enjoyed fighters. I didn't play them all the time, but it was one of the usually like I said, I'd want to do ranger because but I'd always want the pet. Like I'm one of those people who that's why they put all the pets in the games and always like I want the pet. Toby played a gnomish bard, but in fifth edition I am playing a tiefling bard. I don't even know if I ever made it past second edition Dungeons and Dragons. I think that's all I've ever played. Besides the basic and then advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, wait, maybe I played the one after. I can't remember. I played when they were coming out with what was the one they had like the one that was like in space way back in the day. Spelljammer, was it Spelljammers? I can't even remember what that one was called. That's right, Crimson. I forgot you played too. The second edition mod called Labyrinth Lord. I am playing an automaton. Oedicus. Yeah, with the pets. I can't help it. Anytime I can have a little pet or familiar, it's like I gotta have it. But then I'd always be worried, like in game, Like, I'm not gonna lose whatever it is. Like, it's if my horse, like the horse. If I had a mount, it'd be like the most protected thing. It's like things might get dangerous. Mount, stay here. I'm going in. I think my character's mount would be the most well protected thing ever. It's like, yeah, this is gonna be a long, dangerous ride. So we can't take the horse. He's staying back in the barn. We're gonna huff it by foot. Speaking of pets, does anyone here played stuffed fables? Really cute and super fun minis to paint and perfect entry into TRPGs for younger players. To be honest, I never even heard of that one. But I'm out of the loop. I mean, been getting back into it after the last year and a half because there's so much cool stuff out there now. A lot of these 3D printed plates and everything too are amazing. What do I do? Oh, was that all the way down here? A wing away, a wing away. Maybe like that. Let's see. Airbrush. Dun, 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 dun. In Minecraft, I had like 200 wolves and I was invincible. I never did Minecraft. Oh, that's interesting, Toby. A board game where you play defending a little girl from nightmares. Each game is played on a book. That's kind of a cool concept. With the left page, the game map, and the right page with the story encounters. Oh, that's convenient. That's a cool concept. So you can just kind of flip it open. You have the board and you have all the stuff. Oh, interesting. I know, and they just had Gen Con. They were. I saw some tweets and stuff about it, and all the games there. I'm like, man, it's so. I think I was to a Gen Con maybe 10, 12 years ago. Yeah, something like that. That was the last time I was to a Gen Con. I want some like, in my perfect world, I don't know what there would be like kind of a simple online like RPG almost like where I don't know how I would play it. Like it has to be like something slow, right? Where you maybe make a choice a week or something, just like some slow building thing where you log in, make a few choices, and then go about your way. And I've been wanting something like that for a long time. So you can kind of still build a character, but you're not like grinding, and you're just kind of making choices. And I don't even know what that means to my head. Like it's just some made up. I want to, you make a couple choices. It comes in. You don't have to like do a lot, and yet you still you should try Krita and a wagon pad for your set for your and a wacom pad. I have a Cintiq companion, right? So it's their mobile version of a PC, and I've had it for a while. I end up using the iPad more because the Cintiq is super light, full PC, really good machine in my experience, but it's still like almost 3 pounds. And so, to hold it, like I'll hold an iPad in one hand. It's basically like holding a pad of paper, and I can move it all around. So it's just it's that the convenience of that keeps me working because I'm all like I'm sitting weird on a chair. I have my iPad on the arm of the chair, and I'm like leaning sideways onto that same arm and drawing. So I'm like, I don't, it's like a normal setup now. I don't even like draw normal anymore most of the time. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. That would be great. None of the login 5 times a day maintenance. And the other thing I was thinking of is like, okay, a lot of times I'll be working in my studio space and I'll have a computer on or have, I'm just sitting on in the background, right? So like, I wish there was a little game, maybe it's the same RPG where it's literally just like voice commands. You don't have to touch nothing. You don't like if you look up and see, I don't know, the person has to mine, or you could just say it and then like mine item or whatever, and you could give it simple audio commands and keep it going. I would do that because like I'd be drawing here and then you kind of look up and you see something maybe and then you just give it a command and you're not even typing or doing anything. I would be into that. Utica says you deserve more subs. Well, I appreciate that. I'll get there. It, I gotta. The whole streaming thing is kind of new to me and what people enjoy out of it and all that. So, and I'll get better at like editing some of the videos, and I have to target my content a little better and make the like what I want to do is so I'll take some of these paint overs and just do a quick before and after transitions. So you'll see like the photo and then maybe it's like a like a transition into the painted one, and then put about 30 of those into one video, so then they can people can kind of just see a whole bunch of them in a row. I think that looks cool to me. Like when you see the unfinished one, and I used to have this one thing set up where there was like a slider. So as you move the slider, you could see the finished or unfinished version. I loved it. And thank you. I'm glad you both think I'm worthy of some more followers. I, and I didn't know I was going to have fun. As soon as people came in here to chat, and that's kind of it's like, oh, okay, we'll work on stuff. I've been out of the hobby so much. It's I talk with everyone and I get to kind of figure out kind of what's going on in the hobby world and what all that kind of stuff. So it's I get to nerd out on everything with people. Ooh, that's bright. What is that? Couple little. There, little foliage. And I should probably in another, I don't know, a little while, I'm probably getting some more Mantic paint overs to do for them for one of their books. And that was another reason I'm like, all right, I want to get the more familiar I can get with the stuff, the world they live in, the more just little details you can start bringing out. So I was catching all up on the Dead Zone stuff. They released Dead Zone 3. It's not out yet, so I'm not showing any of the work from that. But I love their land speeders. So this was a Mantic Enforcer land speeder, and I loved it. I wanted to do the snow. Something about land speeders, you always get that zoom, and you like stuff flying and going everywhere. So I was like, all right, let me practice up on how I would do a lot of these. And snowfall, I always want to do a whole bunch of snow. I love the idea of like using the white negative space and going really white with the snow, so the white almost becomes like the frame, and the snow would be totally white, so it you can use that to frame it really well. thought this one came out really good. This is a Games Workshop one, but it worked out when I started the paint over on this one. Toby says, I am launching a YouTube channel soon and want to do a series of videos where I interview people like yourself who are on YouTube with a small audience and there's more exposure. You know, that's kind of, I have to get more and more random guests on. I was doing it for a while and then just kind of fell off with it for a bit. And I was doing the Wednesday show, but that's what I had Griffo on and I had a couple other people. I enjoy it. You know, you just chat about the hobby. So that was, I like the idea because it's kind of what I do. Hey, thanks on the land speeder. Do you like Star Wars? Yes. That was one of the biggest influences I had growing up. You know, was the Star Wars stuff. Now I still like it, but when it gets so big and so, you know, I for some reason I like little more niche things generally. You know, and it's weird because as much I love Star Wars, still watch like The Mandalorian. It's funny you bring that up. I bought a I wish it was heavier. It's not. It's a little cup with the Mandalorian logo on it, but it's like a aluminum cup, just like a little one. I bought that just because like, oh, I liked it. But yeah, I dig some Star Wars stuff. That was mind blowing on the screen. I can always say I saw the original Star Wars in the theater. Dun dun dun. Big life achievement right there. Big life achievement. Saw Star Wars in the theaters. It's my claim to fame. Put some little happy leaves in the jungle. The other thing I'm really digging about Mantic, so I was familiar with them, but didn't like know their product. And when I started, the more I started doing the Dead Zone stuff and then like reading up on it, it's not all just like strict grimdark. You know, there's a ton of variety you could do in all their like different planets and like how it all operates and more clean stuff, and then you could still do all the grimy and that was kind of like exciting when I started doing these. Like, oh yeah, I can get a big variation. Of course, for me, it's always scary because then you want to try to pull off all this stuff and don't know if you can. We could have you on here one day. I promise. I talk at great length. I it's weird. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I don't talk that much, and then you get me on here, and it's like I babble, I over talk people. I'll be like saying all this stuff. I'm like, wow. I literally think it's just because I get all excited to talk nerdy stuff, so that's when I start talking a lot. There's something I'm trying to do in the background. I want to have just a little more a light spot, like right in here, almost like a little bit is punching through. Let me try again here. Almost like negative. So I want it to be like a negative. Oh, wow, that's not going to work. It's probably something I have to plan out earlier. Whoa. Nope. We're not going to try that. I haven't started Bad Batch yet. I did, and I have to finish that. The Necromunda stuff, I'm going to end up buying. They have new Necromunda. I'm going to end up buying that little terrain piece and maybe those outcast gang members. Darn it. I already hit stuff I didn't paint. I didn't want to get more, but those might do it. And then I might end up picking up Armada from Mantic. play some naval battles. Toby, you have a good day. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Good chatting with you. What do we got here? Try again. Wow, why is that so bright? Yeeticus, are you on Twitter at all? How did you find out about me doing paintovers? Curiously, I get all the names confused, and like I know I've seen you around, and then I feel bad. Like it'll be people. Oh, I have people in Discord. They've like been around for like a year, and they have these different names, and then I would forget, who I'm talking to. And I'll be like, "Oh, I've talked to you for a year, and then I got your name confused." Yeah, awesome. I'm good like that. Yeah, I've already been an hour. Maybe I'm gonna stream. I don't know, 15 minutes longer or whatever. I want to kind of just get that little, just right in that sky. I want to try a little bit of something. I don't know what it is, and usually with these, like now in my mind, if I was just working on this and I wasn't streaming, I would pause on this one because it's too much in my face, and I find like if I go take a break and clear my mind, sometimes in the afternoons, that's when I would play like my half-hour video games. So I would go do something like that, my brain completely shuts off from this, and that's why I like play like a quick little video game of something fast where I'm focused on it. And then I find, if you come back after that a little while, like I'll kind of have like a fresh perspective on it, on what I'm trying to achieve. Oh, you saw me in the recommended. Woot for YouTube recommending me. Oh, that's cool that I got recommended. Huh. Moving on up. I see. I'm debating too. I got the website up, right? So I have artistempire.com. And I always do free paint over day on Twitter, because that's kind of where I started, where I have the biggest social media following, and it's kind of like the easiest to communicate. But so now there's people who watch me and who don't have Twitter, obviously, and I'll do free paint over day and kind of have the stream. And I want to do it from the website, but the problem is it's like another site someone has to sign up to, and it's like, who, I don't even want to sign up for anything else, let alone have someone else so they could submit pics. And I'm torn with, I have to put time and effort into that to grow it if I want to, or am I being like, oh, that's too much of a waste of time when I should just be, keep doing what I'm doing and grow, and then maybe try to do that. So I don't know. That's where I'm at with the website. At least the forum part. The website I'm always going to have and I'll be using more, but like the forum part and using it for free paint over day, I'm unsure about how to do that properly. Live and learn. It's a little bit bright, but I like it. Oh, what I want to do now, this might work. Put a bright spot, and then erase the silhouette of the tree out of it. Oh, that might work if I do it right. Huh, kind of does. Yeah. Yeah. So at least I have an idea of how I would tackle this problem now. I dig that. Ooh, yeah. I can take that. A little bit of problem solving. That's what drawing to me is basically just problem solving. And wondering why my brain can't just draw something simple. like that's part of it. It's like, what do I can't just like, light something, or just, I don't know. It always amazes me, as much as I've drawn and done stuff, and you're still like trying to figure out what to do. I'm glad yeah, that's what I want. Just that subtle little, faded kind of object. I think it works in there. And that was good. I put so I should have had the nice bright spot in the background first, and then layered the darkness over it. So then you can really see like a depth corridor in there. But this is a good way for me to do this when I'm doing them fast. I can. So that's something I learned there. Oh, this one is kind of cool. I like it. I always get surprised when most of the time I'll work on something. I'm kind of like, the most I'll give myself is, okay, it doesn't look bad. You didn't botch it all. You didn't. I should whiten his teeth a little bit, get a little bright shine on it. Oops. Right, you probably can't even see what I'm doing right now. There's I am just trying to clean up some of these edges. There's a little bit of edge around some of these, like his hands and stuff. I just want to break it up a bit. A puppy, no, you had everything, and now this isn't even your food time. It's super early. How do you end up here even when you just know I'm streaming, and I know. Is it rough being a puppy? No. One thing I hate about drawing dragons is wings. Let me think. I'm out of practice on dragons, and I liked them because I liked the wings. It's kind of like I liked hair on some people. When you do the long hair, you can kind of whip it around and add motion. So I kind of like wings because it's a great way to compositionally put motion in, even though, yes, they are hard to get ones that, really work with that. And you know what? The puppy's all over me. What I'm going to do is end up ending the stream here. So thank you very much, Eutychus, for hanging out. I appreciate it. And I don't know. I'm trying to get the community tab on YouTube. I need like 1,000 followers, and then I think I can communicate in one spot with YouTube. So I'm trying to work my way towards that eventually. Thanks for swinging by. I'm going to end this so I can go take the puppy out. And see you.